wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name, check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain, assess and I change, possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints. Money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague. We all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name. All our insecurities are on display. This is war with the enemy, think that it was meant to be. Living in a time where disease is on every screen. I won't let them fester me, I know most are festering. Negativity is a plague for the mentally weak. No mercy, all I got is working. Never stop searching, never quite so thirsty. I'm toxic and psychotic, but there's logic, you can't stop it. It's been chronic since I was a boy, so neurotic and chaotic.
I'm built to last with the webs I'm weaving. I could change the past with all I'm achieving. Got my foot on gas, never stop competing. If you break like glass, then this life's gonna eat 'em. Make mistakes real fast, then you learn how to beat 'em. If you take off the cast, you can see all the healing. If the pain's in the past, move on from the grave and put your foot on the gas. No, never stop competing, yeah. I've been doing this, I'm on it. I just wanna be iconic. Sipping on a gin and tonic, got me going off when I'm on this topic, yeah. If I ever play, I want it. You know that I'm always honest. Stay away from those who are toxic. Keep them out your face, no way, you don't want it, yeah. Don't try to drain my energy. The enemy is everything. It's mentally, unhealthily, spreading like a rare disease. But I won't let it get to me. I don't need your therapy. I can leave a legacy of leading by intensity. Come on, we can fight this. Freedom is priceless. Spread just like a virus. Living in a crisis. Do you feel courageous? Do you?
Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to Inside the Mind, episode 5, and I'm here with pretty much my best friend of the network, 11 years. We go way, way back. Earl Cole, who's now in charge of the wrestling division, who's going to do everything for the network. How you doing, man? How you doing, Earl?
This is an honor for me to be with you, Mitch. I was thinking a while ago, that first countdown song that we do here at the Hardcore Sports. It would be funny if we get a viral video going of all of the members of the Hardcore Sports doing the twerking, and see who's the best twerker.
I'm not going to answer that question, but yeah. Anyways, guys.
Anyway, I'm kidding. I'm playing.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
But anyway, it is an honor to be here, and it's always good to be here with Mitch and to help Mitch grow this organization and everything. And I'm truly blessed to be here. I came from a lot of turmoil, a lot of things, and I'm just humbled by everything. And I owe Mitch a lot. And that one phone call changed my life, and I'm indebted to you, Mitch.
We're going to get into that. But we got a lot of people in the chat already. Coach Ed, how's it going? Good morning. I'm looking forward
Coach
to
Ed.
It's starting. Yep. Like, share, subscribe on all social media platforms. We are live on the Hardcore Sports Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Actually, shout out to Earl because he's the one who got me into making a Facebook for the network. So that was actually Earl's call on that. So shout out to Earl on that one. But hey Wesley, how's it going? Appreciate that. Hey Sarah, how's it going? Sarah and Earl are like the tag team of the network here. They're in charge of like every watch along. They're doing great. And yeah. Raw, bro, I love you, but that's a big no. Earl. And Mitch and Earl, welcome to the mothership, ladies and gentlemen. And speaking of Blaze, he's actually going to be interviewing the Queens of the Ring tonight. He's going to be interviewing the Queens of the Ring, so that's Sherry, Denise, and Sarah. So that's going to be tonight. I cannot wait for that. And Blaze, I'm going to pop in, so you're going to interview me as well for the third time. But anyways, Anyways, let's just get right into it. Now, I actually do not know this. How'd you become a content creator? What was the like? How'd you get started into that field?
Well, I'm going to explain to you my humble beginnings, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
I started with a Facebook page. I started going into other wrestling pages, and I became a member of these pages. But as time went on, ladies and gentlemen, people were jealous of me, and they were jealous of me, answering questions or having the knowledge that I had and everything like that. So it became a kind of a royal rumble, so to speak, no pun intended, in the chats, in the group chats, and everything like that. And eventually, I was pushed out. I was pushed out. I was excommunicated from the Facebook pages. Some of the members, did not like me at all. Some people labeled me, different names and everything like that. So it became quite a toxic cesspool of unwanted and uncertainty factors. So what I did was is I went to another Facebook page and I went to another wrestling group, and what spawned out of that wrestling group was the the show that I call the wrestling. Well, at first it wasn't called the Wrestling Experience. It was called Get in the Ring with Earl. And this was a show that I had on the wrestling page, and everything was fine, everything was doing good until I had that one guest. That one guest uh, ruined the entire package. Um, that one guest ruined the entire package. So um, he started to get people against me. There was a lot of turmoil backstage. I found out later that they created a web page about me. 10 things why I hate Earl. And yes, I so that web page was created, and I found out about it, came back to me, and well, the rest was history, ladies and gentlemen. I decided that I did not want to be part of this anymore. I was about to give up. I was about to give up because I just didn't know what to do anymore at that point. Um, I wanted to have a platform because here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, when you have a talent at something, you need an outlet. You need that outlet so that you could just broadcast to the world that, hey, I'm over here. I'm over here. I'm not, maybe not the best knowledgeable person that you could possibly see, but if you teach me some things, I'll get better. So henceforth the YouTube page. I then transformed into the YouTube page, ladies and gentlemen, and for 11 years, ladies and gentlemen, 11 years on YouTube. I was a little fish in the pond, like this, a little fish, little guppy
Mhm.
fish like this,
Yeah.
trying to swim up the stream and compete with everyone, and compete with everyone. And then and then I saw Mitch on YouTube. That's the first time I ever saw Mitch on YouTube. And I
Mhm.
saw the way he was talking and the way the way he mannerisms and everything like that. And I said, hmm, maybe I need to be a little bit different from everyone else. Maybe I need to reinvent myself. So, henceforth, I created the wrestling experience. And when I created the wrestling experience, ladies and gentlemen, it was a show. It was designed for me to have. You ever see a neighbor, and you ever see a next door neighbor, and then you have that next door neighbor, and they knock on your door and they said, "Oh, what are you watching tonight?" "Oh, I'm watching wrestling. Do you want to sit on the couch and watch?" So that's how I treated the wrestling experience. I invited guests to come over my mothership. I didn't have a mothership at that point, but it evolved after it evolved after that, ladies and gentlemen. But at that beginning moment, I started to have guests, and I said, well, how can I make the guests more appealing, and how can I make the guests more entertaining? And how can be more entertaining? So I started to mess around and monkey around with different things. So then I saw Star Wars. I saw Star Wars. And then I said to myself, I said, oh, they do have sci-fi, and I know people relate to sci-fi stuff. So I said, I wonder if I say so I started to write down little phrases like, dude, let me see, planet. So I kept going back and forth with planet. And I said, wait a minute. The light bulb went off. I was like, ding, ding, ding. I said, planet experience. So I said, okay. So the fourth show that I've done, the fourth show, I started to use the phrase, welcome to the planet experience. So when I use the word planet experience, it spawned into other things. So then I said, well, I wonder if I can use mothership. So then I started to use welcome to the mothership and welcome to planet experience. So then I started to change things around and stuff like that. So everything started to evolve. Everything started to evolve. And once it evolved, ladies and gentlemen, once it evolved, oh boy, did it explode on the planets, ladies and gentlemen. I started to get more popular. I started to gain and more people wanted to watch what I was doing. And then I started to get criticized for not being entertaining enough, not being lively, not being hip, not being, so I said, well, something, I'm going to sit back and think about what I'm going to do. So I went on some YouTube content creators, and I looked at them and I'm like, hmm, some of them are a little entertaining, some of them aren't, but I said, okay, this so and things started to get evolved, and it started to get kept going and kept going and kept going and kept going and kept going. So I started to add little nuggets to it. So I started to add mothership. I started to add planet experience. I started to so eventually, ladies and gentlemen, that spawned Earlisms. Ladies and gentlemen, that spawned Earlisms. Ladies and gentlemen. And these Earlisms, ladies and gentlemen, are unique to me because nobody does them. Nobody does them. Nobody.
Right.
Nobody. Even though I have been accused of taking people's stuff, but I don't do that. These are my own. These are my own. It came from my brain. It came from my brain up here. It came from up here. That's where it comes from. So every time I do a broadcast or I do something, I whip out Earlisms, and that's how I became a content creator. Um, I, I never knew that I was going to be so big and popular. I just never knew.
Yeah.
I just never knew. Um,
So it's actually kind of interesting how you just found my channel. It's just like back then, I've been doing movie reviews, video game reviews. I have not done like sports and wrestling and all that stuff. But Earl was actually one of my first big supporters of the channel when I started. So we're going back years and years and years ago, like not 8, 9 years ago. And we actually met in a Facebook page, WWE fans, which is still not there, but that's where Earl and I met. If anyone had questions about that, but for this next one, Earl, me and you talked about this a while ago. How did you become a member of Hardcore Sports Network? You're muted, Earl. Hold on. I got it. Oh, you're hit the microphone. You muted. There you go.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yep. All good.
Okay. So, I, I made a phone call. I made a phone call, ladies and gentlemen, because what happened was behind the scenes. You all didn't know this, and you probably don't. Um, I was still on YouTube,
Yeah.
and I had a friend at the time. Well, I guess I could bring his name up because we're no longer friends. But Mr. DJ Storms, um, he was part of my fabric
Yeah.
and part of my. He was part of my one of my guests.
Yeah.
And what happened is that I was on vacation. I was in Connecticut, and I had the show set up for when I came back from vacation. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I had not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, not six, not seven, not eight, not 10. 13 people called my private cell phone, ladies and gentlemen, and harassed me to cancel his appearance on the show. Otherwise, it would turn ugly. Some people threatened me to strip me down of my YouTube channel. Some people says that they wanted him gone, and those 13 people are no longer my friends. So, because I defended him, I wasn't going to back down. So mentally, I was distraught because I'm being harassed on social media, on Twitter. I'm being harassed on my private phone. I'm being harassed all over the place, and I can't relax. I'm supposed to be on vacation. That's not a good feeling when you wake up in the morning and you get bombarded like that. That's not good. I wouldn't do that to anyone, but
Right.
they do it to me. But they do it to me. So I said, well, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. So what happened is that there was a story that broke about Mr. McMahon. And I said, now who am I going to? I said, I'm on vacation. I can't go live. I can't share my location. So what am I going to? So I said, you know what? I'm going to call one person that I know that would take this information very well. I said, I'm going to call Mitch. So I got into the living room. I picked up the phone, and Mitch goes, Earl, hi, how you doing? And he's like, hi, how you? He's like, he's all happy to hear from me. It's like, hi, how you doing? Like, what's going on? About that guy? Okay, all right. So I said, Mitch, I said, there's some breaking news about Vince McMahon. I said, I don't know what you want to do with it, but if you want to broadcast it or make a short out of it or whatever, it's yours. Um, So he says to me, he says, well, we were just me and Tyler was just talking about you. And I was like, uh-oh. That's the first thing that went in my head. That's the first thing that went in my head. That's the first thing that went in my head. I'm like, don't tell me you're going to do this to me too, because everybody's been doing this to me. They're spinning me around like a hamster wheel. Don't do that to me. Um, so, um, so so then I said, okay, why are you talking about me all of a sudden? Like, what's the fascination? So I was kind of feeling skeptical. I was kind of skeptical because I didn't know what I was going to be in for. I did not know if I was going to get a tongue lashing or something, or did I say something wrong off color that I wasn't supposed to? No, he says, no, he says, no, I want you to be part of the network. And I said, what? You want me? Me? Me?
Yeah.
Me? This little kid from Brooklyn? You want me? I'm like, okay. So I said to Mitch, I said, okay. I said, that's fine by me. That's fine by me. I said, yeah. And it spawned into, then we had the conversation of Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
So Mitch goes, well, I need somebody to do Raw. And I said, okay, who do you want to get to do Raw? You. And I said, oh, me? Me? You want me to do the flagship show of the WWE? You want me to do what on your
Yeah.
network? I'm like, okay, all right. So that spawned into, ladies and gentlemen, the Raw watch along.
Yeah.
And every Monday night, I was in your cyber living room, ladies and
Hmm.
gentlemen. And we had, I believe before we added Jeffrey or anybody else, I believe it was we mixed bag people. We were trying to different, we were doing different people, going
Yeah.
back and forth to see if the chemistry worked. Um, and long and behold, ladies and gentlemen, Mitch comes to me and said, Jeffrey wanted to do it. And I said, fine. He said, do you have a problem with it? I says, no, I don't. I never met Jeffrey before. And when he came on board, we clicked. We clicked very well. And we had a lot of fun. So I've been here ever since, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. So coming from my side of that phone call, right? Me and Tyler, who's still involved in the network, but he's busy with other stuff at the moment. Where me and him would just talk about things, right? We had this other person in the network. We wanted to grow this wrestling because no one else at that time or this time has wrestling on their network. Basically, no one. So it's basically us. So that's why I had Earl join us because I know him for so long. I trust him. He's a great dude. He's my best friend when it comes to online. So that is why the Raw watch alongs happened. And honestly, he's just been taking over the internet by storm for Monday Night Raw. And I'm like, Earl, all I give you is here, Monday Night Raw. You do what you do. I'll make the thumbnails. You'll schedule them. And that's how that happened. So people have been asking me, Mitch, how has Earl joined the network? I'm like, that's it. I was on vacation too. I was down the shore on the phone with Tyler, and I'm like, we need more people. And then Earl just calls me out of the blue like this. And I'm like, dang, I was just talking about you. I just love how that just coalesced and how that just happened.
It's called God's divine intervention, ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen.
And honestly, Earl, I did not know you were going through all that when I got that call.
Yeah,
I I
because
did not
I
know.
remember, I remember you asked me about my mental health. I remember you asked me about that.
Yeah.
Because mentally, ladies and gentlemen, I was broken down like a box. I was being harassed. I was literally on the edge. I was getting on the edge, ladies and gentlemen, and I didn't know what to do. I really, I, I just couldn't seem to relax. I wanted a 2 week off. I wanted to get my mind right. I wanted to get my mind right. And when you harass somebody like that on their vacation, it's not good. It just doesn't feel good. I'm but that phone call changed my life.
It
That phone call talking to Mitch, because I'll tell you this much, ladies and gentlemen, you all may not know this, but Mitch is a great person to listen to. He is one of the persons that if you make that phone call, I know you're a busy person, Mitch, and you got personal things going on with your family. I understand all of that. I understand that complicitly. But if you call him just for 5 minutes, just for 5 minutes. He's like smooth jazz. He's just like very, just like smooth. He's very smooth, very smooth. Just want to listen to. He's just like smooth jazz. He's just like very mellow and just listens, and he gives you the best advice that you could possibly do. So, I'm indebted. I'm indebted to him. You may not want to believe, but I am indebted to him. I'm sorry.
Hey, don't be
But
sorry. Don't be sorry. Earl, you got a family now, okay? You got a Hardcore Sports Network. It's me, Sarah, Blaze, Sherry, Denise, Coach Ed. I can go on and on and on. RIP to Jeff. We'll talk about that in a bit. But it's just like, we got you, Earl. We got you. And ever since what happened, we got you. Okay. And here's the next one question that's actually my favorite question of this show. What is your favorite part about being a part of the Hardcore Sports Network?
five
What's your
things.
five?
Five
Oh,
things.
hit me
Five
with it.
things. Family, support, camaraderie, togetherness, and we all laugh together. And
Yeah.
we all support. And six, we all support.
Yeah. hmm I love that.
I, I love it.
I love it. It's just like what Coach Ed said here, right here. Earl, you have a big family network you can call who will be there to handle business for you. Never have to stress again. And here's Sarah, who's like your tag team partner. We're all here for you, Earl. That's what everyone from the Hardcore Sports Network is. And my favorite part about you having the network is just keeping us all updated about the wrestling news in the group chat. Just like what's going on, what's next, how do we keep up to date? Earl, that is why that's my favorite part of the network right now. That Earl's in here. And I gotta bring this up now. When Jeff was here, I'm gonna say this now. He was you were one of his favorite people to work with, like top one.
Wow.
I've
I
never told you that. I've never told you that. I thought this will be the right time because now we're talking about your favorite part of the network, and Jeff loved working with you, Earl. He did. He really, really did. So,
I did not know that. And you know something, ladies and gentlemen, on May the 29th, we're going to have a very special night for Jeffrey because it'll be 1 year since we lost him.
yeah.
Um, we're going to do a very special dynamite show. I was going to talk to Mitch behind the scenes with this. Um, we're we're going to do something special for him on that night. We're going to
Yeah.
go on the air at 7:30, and I want Mitch to help me produce the show. And we're going to come together and do Jeffrey right. I did
Yeah.
not know that about
I,
how he
hey,
felt about me.
even Coach said Jeff definitely did. He told me that too. So
Yeah.
I felt
Um,
like this was the right time with everyone here supporting you, even halftime that he's here. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. We'll bring that up in the questions. But yeah, I just thought I had to say that. And
um,
next,
I I did not know. I did not know that.
yeah,
I did not know that. And ladies and gentlemen, let me just say one thing. It was very hard for me
yeah,
um, to do that Raw watch along that night. It was very difficult for
yeah,
me to make that announcement over the air.
yeah,
Um, it wasn't something I want. I hated to even be involved in that. Um, I I just I couldn't wrap my head around it that night.
no,
I just I couldn't. I couldn't. I couldn't
w-
believe the words that was coming out of my mouth that night when I got on the air.
right, yeah, yeah,
I couldn't add him to the screen. I couldn't. Uh, I mean, it was just it, it was devastating. But I did not know. I did not know that that's how he felt about me because I felt about him like that too. Our chemistry was absolutely off the wall. I fed off of him. He fed off of me, and he was just absolutely. I mean, he would never say no to me coming on a wrestling experience.
No, he
Um,
would not say no to anybody,
nope,
especially you.
nope.
He would not say no. He would always say yes. It's kind of like the movie. Did you ever see that movie Yes Man with Jim Carrey? That's Jeff. He would always say yes. He
Yes,
would.
he always said yes. But getting 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 back to the I did not know that. I appreciate you telling me that, Mitch,
I've
because
been waiting for the right time, and I feel like this is the time because this show's about you, Earl. So yeah, now we're gonna get to the wrestling. Your favorite part, the story. We did talk about this the other night, and I was like, "There goes the question." So here's that question: the story of how you became a wrestling fan.
well, that's simple. Ladies and gentlemen, that's very simple. My mom took me when I was a kid to Madison Square Garden, ladies and gentlemen. And 200 matches later, ladies and gentlemen, I have been inside Madison Square Garden, ladies and gentlemen. I have seen so much iconic moments in that building, ladies and gentlemen. Um, I think one of my favorite Madison Square Garden moments
Mhm.
was being at WrestleMania 10, ladies and gentlemen, and meeting Burt Reynolds behind the scenes, ladies and gentlemen. I thought that
You
was very
met Burt
interesting.
Reynolds at WrestleMania?
Yes. Hmm.
Oh my God!
Hmm.
What?
Yeah.
How did that come about?
Well, I was on 8th Avenue and the traffic was terrible. And he came out with his luggage. His hand was broken at the time. He came on WrestleMania. His hand was broken. And he needed somebody to help him in the back door.
Mhm.
So I opened the door for him and I said, "Here you go, Mr. Reynolds." And he says, "You going to WrestleMania?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "Have a good time tonight." He said, "Yeah." I said, "You too." And and that was it. That's
That is
right place, right time. You
that is
know,
crazy. Wow. I
you know,
never would have thought of that. Out of
no,
you been at 11 WrestleManias,
yes,
you met Burt Reynolds.
yeah, yeah, mm, yeah,
That
yeah,
that is crazy. So,
yeah.
who's your favorite wrestler of all time? I know it's not The Miz. I'm not bringing The Miz into this. Who's your favorite wrestler? And Sarah, I'm not putting up that background
No,
today.
well, no. I mean, I have three of them.
Oh,
You know,
okay. Let's hear him.
I have three of them. One is Sting.
Yeah.
One is Sting. I loves me some Sting. And the other one's the Undertaker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I love the Undertaker. And the third one, which is very very important. I love Pedro Morales.
Okay. That
Yeah.
was kind of. I did not expect that one. I
Well,
did not
I'm
expect
old school, but
Pedro.
I'm cool.
Yeah,
That's
that is true. That is
yeah,
true.
yeah. It fits.
Yeah. And now here's my second favorite question of the show. Tell us something about you that we may not already know about.
Well, that's it's gonna take a while. Do you have a scroll?
Go for it, man. Go for it, Earl.
Well, first of all, a lot of people don't know that I love listening to jazz to
Okay.
relax. Ladies and gentlemen, when I'm stressed
Okay.
out, I turn on jazz. Ladies and gentlemen, and I listen to it, and I make sure that I'm centered when I listen to jazz. Another thing people don't know about me is I love to cook. I love cooking.
Okay. I didn't
It
even know
relaxes
that.
me. It relaxes
Okay.
me. I
What do
find
you
it to
like
be
to
fun.
cook?
I think
What do
everybody
you like
should
to
learn
cook?
it.
What do you like to cook?
Well, I mean, last night I made for the first time, ladies and gentlemen, beef lo mein. Ladies and gentlemen,
Ooh.
Homemade
That does.
beef lo mein. It smelled like hung fat in my house last night.
And actually, here's a quick question from Coach Ed. Who's your favorite jazz artist?
um, that's a great question. Um, I like oh gosh, jeez, what's his name? Um, oh my gosh, I can't think of his name just
If
escapes me. Oh
if you
jeez.
can't think of his name, we'll come back to it. Maybe it will
Yeah, well,
pop
I'll
up.
come back to that. I'll come back to that. I'll come back to that. But
And it's just so halftime doesn't get mad. What is your favorite Earlism that you came up with? What is your best Earlism?
um, I think well, there's three of them. There's three of them. One of them, one of them is he's beating the stew.
Yeah.
One of them is beating the stew. Now, I know that some of you all come to me on Twitter and you ask me like, "What are you talking about when you talking about beating the stew?"
That's me. That's me. Even though I should know about this, but that's me.
But here's the thing: when I use the phrase, "He's beating the stew," he's getting there's a mugging going on in the corner in the ring, and when you call in the match, I can't just sit there and say, "Oh, he's stomping on him," so I have to be creative with it. So when he's beating him in the corner, I say, instead of saying beating in the corner, I'm gonna say he's beating us still. He is beating us still. And then they show the Denti Moore beef stew and all that. Yes, that's one of them. Another one is insecurity. I like
Okay.
doing that. That's another Earl is, but I drown it out. I draw it out. I draw it
Yeah.
out so it can be more entertaining. You know.
Mm.
So when I use the word insecurity, that's another one. And then the third one, which is is plunger. Is he going to give him a plunger? Yeah, that's
Okay.
another one. That's another. So I have a lot of them in my repertoire. Mm-mm.
All right. And if you could have dinner with three people, dead or alive, who would it be?
Um, Mitch Kosky, Sarah Hapkin, and Cherry.
Wow. Okay. Sarah, it looks like we're going out to dinner. I'm not buying. I'm not buying. Sorry. My wallet is at home. I forgot it. But I'm not paying. I'm not
I'll make
paying.
meatballs for everyone. Anyway,
Oh, that works. As long as it's free, I don't have to pay. And then Sarah says, "Look out now." That one's personally my favorite.
oh yeah, yes. Look out now. Look out
Yeah.
now. Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and another one is ladies and gentlemen. Mhm.
Yep. All right, cool. Sarah's paying. Yes. Paying. Thank you. That's all I care about. Uh, um, this one I actually don't know about, and I've been trying to think about this for a couple days now. Who's your favorite superhero or villain? I've been thinking about this for a while. I'm like, I have a
um,
couple in mind, but
but
I want you to tell me.
well, when I was growing up as a kid, I used to watch the Hall of Justice.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to watch that all the time when I was a kid. Used to sit there in my onesies. I used to sit on the floor. I used to watch that. I used to, yeah.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. That sounds good. I appreciate everyone being here. We're 40 minutes into Inside the Mind with Mr. Earl Cole. So, guys, please hit that like, hit that subscribe. And, Earl, I forgot to mention this in the beginning of the show. This is the first Inside the Mind after we hit 1,000. This is the
I
first.
know. And you know something. It's funny that you do mention that. It is just it's a great feeling.
Yeah.
It's a
Good
great
morning.
feeling.
Good morning, Mac. Good morning. I have to text you about something, but I'll text you later. But yeah, and now here's the chat's favorite part. Have them ask questions. They can ask you anything that
Yeah.
they want. Preferred wrestling. I want to keep it wrestling, but if you have any other questions, go on with it. Good
Oh
interview,
yes, I
guys.
like George Benson for jazz. By the way,
Oh, it's
George
George
Benson.
Benson. So there you go, Coach. George
Yeah.
Benson. So
Yes.
I told you it would come back. I told you it would come
Turn
back.
your love around.
And then I know
Turn
Coach is
me
pretty much gonna get
down.
up and start dancing now. But anyways, if you guys have any questions for Mr. Earl
Yeah, if
Cole,
you have
now
any questions for me,
now's your
I
chance
don't
because
mind.
this is how we're gonna close the show. And I think there's
Um,
one more question from me. But yep, there's one more question from me. But if you guys have any questions for Earl, please let us know. This is the time. And you know what? I'm gonna bring this up now instead of having this be the last part of the show for episode 6, Earl. For episode 6, this is gonna be my vote. Who's gonna be on the next episode? But you're gonna pick it for me. You're gonna pick it for me. So, who should I interview next? We got one vote so far. Next shift, Randy, Nick, Sleeper Sports Media, or Football Talk with Bo. You get the pick, Earl, and that is my vote.
um, I'm gonna say next shift.
You go with Randy. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All
What?
right. I like that. I like that. So,
Yeah.
guys, make your votes. They're on the community page, community tab. I'm going to put it on the Twitter pretty much in a little bit. If I don't forget, knowing me, I'm going to forget. But, yeah, make sure you vote on the community tab, and that will be episode 6 of Inside the Mind. So, there you
And
go.
getting back to what Mitch was talking about earlier in the show
Yeah.
about me being on top of wrestling news and putting it in the group chat. Anytime that breaking news happens in wrestling, I'm right there on the pulse. I'm right there in the airport, and I push that button, and I send it out, later for you all to read and everything. I also do brand promotions as well for all
Yeah.
our upcoming shows, which I do expeditiously on Twitter,
Yeah.
and X, and get that word out, ladies and gentlemen.
It's still
And the
Twitter.
numbers don't. What was that, Mitch?
It's still Twitter to me. It's not X. It's still Twitter. I'm not gonna go to
And the
X.
numbers don't lie, ladies
No,
and
no.
gentlemen. They,
And
they
guys,
don't.
I have to give Earl his flowers here because he showed me how to promote the shows even more. Because I wasn't a guy who would always promote. Because I honestly, guys, I am lazy. I'm gonna play video games after this, so I'm pretty much lazy when it comes to this. But thank you to Earl. He's the one who showed me how to promote. And we got a question from halftime. Are you a chef?
Are you a what?
A chef? Do you cook?
Um, no, I'm not Emperor Lagasse. No, no, but I like cooking at home because, like I said before, I'll say it again, and it relaxes me. Um, it is something that is testament, and a lot of people, and another thing too is that you all don't know about me is that I have a sense of welcoming style, to me, and I'm very professional, and I like to welcome you into my world every time you come into my streams and everything like that. So, I'm indebted to all of you, for making me who I am today and everything else. And you made this little kid from Brooklyn proud, and just thank you.
And
I'm humbled by
shout
it.
out to our guy Vic. Victor's in the chat. Shout out to you.
Vic, how are
What
you?
What is your favorite moment in WWE history you have seen?
Oh, well, well, I have so many. I have so many. Well, I'll tell you one that's really iconic. I remember the time when Triple H came out from injury in Madison Square Garden, and I was there for that moment.
Oh
Ladies and
my
gentlemen,
god.
I was there for
Yeah.
that moment. I will never forget that Raw, ladies and gentlemen, when he came back on the stage. The crowd was apoplectic. Yeah, there's another Earlism. The
That's a
crowd
flick
went
dick.
apoplectic. They went bananas. Ladies and gentlemen, another moment that I have too is also inside Madison Square Garden when AJ Styles won the United States Championship in a house show.
Oh,
Oh, I
okay.
was sitting at ringside for that, ladies and gentlemen. So I've had a lot of WWE moments.
After his 2004 quad injury, that's what Sarah's asking.
Yeah. Hmm. I
All
was there
right,
for that. Hmm.
all right, and on to the Giant versus Undertaker. Who wins?
Uh, that's a great question. I guess the Undertaker.
That's exactly what I was gonna go with. Appreciate that, Charles. Thank you, man. Charles is a very loyal supporter across all of our channels. He's from the Bahamas right now. So what he likes to do, he likes to put out the temperature and the weather in the Bahamas right now. When I'm looking out, it's raining.
By the way, Charles, send us a Bahama Mama this way. Thank you so much again.
Yes, yes, thank you. All right. The last final question, Earl. The final one. What advice would you give a new content creator?
That's a great question, and that's very simple. First of all, I have this five I'm going to give you. Okay. First
Go
of all,
for it.
be humble. Be humble.
I like that.
Be respectful. Be collaborative.
Yeah.
Be supportive.
Yes.
And most importantly, be yourself.
Yep.
Be yourself. Nobody likes a phony baloney. Nobody
They
likes.
gotta don't eat bologna anymore. But
But don't be phony. Don't don't don't
yeah,
don't be fake because no, it won't come off good. You gotta be genuine at what you do. You
yeah,
you gotta have passion for what you do. I have passion. I have passion for what I do because I love talking about wrestling. I love having respectable debates about wrestling. I like encompassing people into that world, and it's fun to do on a daily basis. Last week, ladies and gentlemen, if you all didn't know this, we here at the Hardcore Sports, I produced 10 streams in a
yep,
week, ladies and gentlemen. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of work to put out all that content. That's a lot of work.
yeah,
So you have to have passion for what you do. You have to have passion for what you do, and you have to love it. If you don't love it, you can't do it. It won't come off well.
yeah. You know what I was gonna say? I thought you were gonna have this as your advice. Don't let people get to you. That's what I thought you were going to say. That's what I thought you were like. You gotta
Yeah, that's
have a
another
thick
thing too.
skin.
That's another thing too. Don't let anybody beat you down or take away your self worth or take away your shine or anything of that nature. Um, I've had people done that to me for so long, and
Yep,
and now that I'm my own person, I I'm not going to allow that anymore. I'm not going to allow that anymore. And I know who I am. I know where I came from. I know who my mother and father are. And I if you like me, you do. If you don't, okay. Such is life in the Big Apple. Ladies and
oh my
gentlemen.
god, halftime. Why does Logan Paul suck at wrestling?
He doesn't suck halftime. I don't know why you say he sucks. He just sucks in the way he wins his matches. That's what he sucks at.
Okay. I
That
like how
he
you
sucks
turned
at
it.
he's good at wrestling, but his finishes suck. That's the only part that sucks.
Yeah. And here comes Charles' favorite part. Weather update in the Bahamas. 75 degrees, wind of 12, low at 70. What is the temperature where I'm at? What is the temperature here? Am I going to be mad? What is it? Come on. You got to load, phone. It's not even loading when I'm trying to get trolled. Yeah, well, I'll tell you later. It's not bad. The weather's not bad. It broke my phone. He sucks at his shenanigans. There you go. And here comes Charles saying MVP, calling you the MVP here.
Well,
Love it.
thank you, Charles. I greatly appreciate it.
You don't need others to vouch. Yep, that's a
No,
good
no, we
one.
don't. No, I don't. I don't.
Oh, thank you, Nick. It's 44 degrees right now.
Thank you, Nick, for that. I greatly appreciate it.
He's
You know,
golfing too.
that's another thing. When Nick was added here to the Hardcore Sports Site, I like working with Nick. He is so funny, and
Yeah,
he's so passionate, and he's such a creative person. It is a testament of why we when we come together, we work. And we work well, especially with Sarah on Wednesday nights. We always have fun during those AEW Dynamite streams. Um, yeah, and also on Friday nights when he does the sometimes when he does the SmackDown. Ladies and
yep.
gentlemen.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Maybe you should make sure you bundle up at the golf course. So there you go.
make sure
Advice
you.
from Sarah to Nick. So, all right, guys. So that's going to conclude Inside the Mind, episode 5 with Earl Cole. Earl, if you got anything to say, now is your time.
Well, and again, I want to thank you all so much for your support. I want to thank you all for loving me for who I am, and thank you all for supporting who I am and uplifting me every day. It's not easy being me. It's not easy doing what I need to do here at the Hardcore Sports. I work very hard for this channel, this brand, this organization, whatever you want to call it. I I love being here. I love working with the people that I work with. We've been through a lot of stuff here. We went through a lot of rides, and I I'm truly indebted to Mitch, to AK, and to Tyler for bringing me on board. And I'm truly indebted to all of you. And again, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here for me, for supporting me. And I'm humbleized by everything that I've gotten and I've garnered here at the Hardcore Sports. So continue with me, ladies and gentlemen. Continue with this cook pot. And again, Mitch, thank you.
Of course, of course. And guys, make sure you tune into the Monday Night Raw watch along with Earl, Sarah, Terry, and Denise. Maybe I'll pop in. But guys, that's gonna have it for episode 5. Make sure you guys vote who you're gonna want to see on episode 6 with make sure oh my god, I can't speak. Next Shift Randy, Nick from Sleeper Sports Media, or Football Talk with Bo. That is all on the community tab. Let me know as soon as possible. I'm going to give it 24 hours because I need enough time to schedule the next show. So let me know who you guys have there. Again, it's Next Shift Randy, Nick from Sleeper Sports Media, and Football Talk with Bo. And on that note, guys, make sure you like, subscribe to the Hardcore Sports Network, and Earl and I are out. Have a good one, guys. Peace.